Disney star Cameron Boyce's death took everyone by surprise in early July 2019. At just 20 years old, he was already making quite a name for himself. You probably know about his appearance on Disney Channel and in Hollywood movies, but here are 10 facts that will change the way you look at the young star's short life. Undeclared illness. Cameron Boyce tragically passed away at just 20 years old on July 6, 2019. He was found unresponsive by a roommate and was pronounced dead at the scene after authorities were called and arrived at the home. While the cause of death was unclear immediately, later that day his parents released a statement revealing that the death was due to a seizure, which was a result of an ongoing medical condition for which he was being treated. That condition was epilepsy, for which he had previously been diagnosed. Epilepsy is not an incredibly uncommon neurological disorder that causes seizures, but the cause is not known. Sometimes it's genetic, but other times it is due to infections in the brain or stroke. Not much is known about Cameron's experience with the disorder, as his diagnosis was relatively recent and not made known to the public. It appears that he and his family were managing the disorder as well as could be expected. In fact, Cameron's parents noticed that nothing was out of the ordinary when they saw him the day before. There was simply no way to predict that just a few short hours later, Cameron would pass away in his sleep. While his death is tragic, his family and friends are looking on the bright side, that he passed away in his sleep during a seizure and most likely did not suffer or feel any pain. Happy family. It may seem strange to point out the fact that Cameron came from a loving and happy family, but we all know that Hollywood can be a difficult place for families to stay together. It has become an unfortunate trope that child stars, especially those hailing from the Disney Channel, will often go through a period of family breakup due to stress and financial reasons. Cameron seemed to be one of the lucky ones in this area. His parents, Libby and Victor, are still married and have always been incredibly supportive of their son. Cameron's father's Instagram feed even now consistently shows off his love for his son and daughter, and he speaks highly of both. Cameron's younger sister, 17-year-old Maya, also had a great relationship with her brother. In a touching tribute, she says, "He was sunlight wearing shoes. I can confidently say he wants us to celebrate, grow, and persevere. I spent 17 years knowing what it was like to be loved by Cameron Boyce. That is the most beautiful gift I have ever received." The evening before Cameron Boyce passed away, he went out to dinner with his family. They said it was a completely normal, beautiful family night out to dinner. Maya says, "I was with him hours before he died. It was normal and fun." She continued, "We said, 'I love you.' He was happy." In an interview with Good Morning America, his parents held hands and discussed their grief over losing their son. With supportive, loving, and clearly involved parents and sister, there's no denying that Cameron would have remained a positive force in Hollywood had he been given the chance. Ambiguous ethnicity. One thing that producers, directors, and casting agents look for in new young stars is what they call ambiguous ethnicity, meaning that the race of the actor is almost unidentifiable. This makes them incredibly versatile and easy to cast in a wide variety of roles. Cameron was no different, and his interesting ethnic makeup allowed him to star in a wide range of roles and fit in beautifully. You may not know, but Cameron Boyce is half Jewish on his mother's side, a quarter Afro-Caribbean, and a quarter African-American from his father's side. Even more interesting is his famous historical connections. Let's take it back a little bit. Back in 1956, the court case of Brown versus Board of Education resulted in a desegregation of schools. This meant that Southern schools that separated black and white students now had to integrate them so that all students could attend together. The particular school in this case was Clinton High School in Tennessee. The first black students to attend the school in the fall were known as the Clinton 12 and have since had a large bronze statue erected in their honor in the city of Clinton, Tennessee. One of those brave students was Joanne Allen Boyce, Cameron's paternal grandmother. Of his ethnicity, Cameron used to joke that he was bluish, black, and Jewish. Me and Drake, we got that in common. Musical debut. Cameron Boyce experienced an interesting debut into the world of Hollywood and acting. Unlike the usual Disney star who tends to begin with modeling gigs or silly commercials that will make them cringe as adults, Cameron made his television debut starring in a music video for Panic at the Disco's That Green Gentleman in 2008. He plays the child version of the band's guitarist Ryan Ross. His acting skills and cheerful face quickly landed him more roles, and he was cast on a soap opera just 2 months after the debut of that video. But that wasn't the only music video Cameron starred in. In April of 2019, he appeared in Hosier's video for Almost Sweet Music. His dancing skills are clearly visible as he dances through a house with a female partner. The life and joy he holds in the video are clearly visible to the viewer, and his energy is undeniable. This video, like all of the actor's work, clearly reveals the positivity and happiness that he will always be known for. Breakdance star. Born and raised in Los Angeles, it's no surprise that Cameron Boyce did a little bit of everything. Aside from acting, he was also a dancer. What is surprising, however, is that the favorite style of dance for the young artist was breakdancing. It's easy to think that the breakdance craze ended sometime in the 90s, but it's pretty clear that young people like Cameron are still getting in on the still-going trend. While most of his fans are used to seeing him in the Disney series Jessie or starring in Descendants, only a few will recognize him spinning, flipping, and jumping his way around stage. His skills as a dancer landed him a spot on the breakdancing crew X-Mob, along with 4 of his best friends. With his crew, he attended events, competitions, and informal dance-offs that showcased his skills. His comfort in front of the camera often landed him as the spokesperson for the crew, where he was able to encourage teens to find something positive and productive in their lives, to avoid violence and drugs. He definitely was a positive role model for a lot of kids in LA and around the world. With his crew, he emphasized the importance of chosen family and claimed that he and his crew were brothers and sister, even though they didn't share the same blood. Spidey sensation. If being a Disney star, an activist, and a dancer wasn't enough, Cameron Boyce stretched his talent by doing voiceover work for the Disney XD animated series Marvel's Spider-Man. With the insane popularity of Marvel due to the incredible films of the MCU, Boyce would have been crazy to pass up on this opportunity. But it wasn't the title star that was voiced by Cameron. Instead, a serious departure from his light and fun characters he previously played, he lent his voice to the villain Shocker. Otherwise known as Herman Schultz, Shocker is a tech-based villain that specializes in breaking into banks and safes. Cameron said in an interview, "I love voiceover work. I think it's fun. To be able to be doing voiceover and to be able to be doing Spider-Man, it doesn't get much better than that." I think we'll agree with him on that one. The Philanthropist. What little time Cameron Boyce had as a celebrity was used to the fullest extent to better his hometown of Los Angeles, the United States, and the world. Once he gained traction and a bit of fame, he was quick to garner attention for his philanthropic work. His biggest contribution to charitable organizations was the amazing work he was able to accomplish for the Thirst Project. The Thirst Project, a nonprofit organization aiming to bring safe drinking water to communities around the world, specifically in villages across the African continent, was founded in 2008 by a group of college students who wanted to make a difference. It quickly gained traction in Los Angeles, where it began, and several celebrities became avid supporters. Cameron dove headfirst into working quickly and efficiently with the organization and was able to raise nearly $30,000 in just 40 days in 2017. This surely made a massive difference to the charity and will have brought a lot of clean water to communities in need. He received a Pioneering Spirit Award for his valiant efforts with the organization in 2018. In addition to that, he also supported United Way's program to end homelessness. From 2015 to his death, he helped raise money for the annual Home Walk in LA. If that weren't enough, Cameron also worked with a social movement called It's On Us, which focused on raising awareness and fighting against sexual assault on college campuses. Finally, he joined the humanitarian project Wielding Peace, which focused on ending gun violence in the United States. His presence in the philanthropic movements was honored through the Cameron Boyce Foundation, founded in LA just a few weeks after his death. The foundation will provide young people creative outlets as alternatives to the negativity and violence they are faced with. In our opinion, there is no better role model than Cameron Boyce to encourage teens to focus their energy on the positive. The Good Kid. As we mentioned before, life as a child star can be difficult. We've seen it time and time again, where young stars have to deal with adult issues much too early in their lives. Money, contracts, coworkers, all of these can add up to the stress these kids are already facing just because they're growing up. Add to the fact that they still have to do some form of schooling, and it's no wonder why they occasionally lose their way. But not Cameron Boyce. He maintained his image as a positive role model until the very end of his short life. In a world where movie and TV co-stars don't often get along and have to deal with personal feuds while working with each other, Cameron succeeded where many before him have failed. It is a testament to his likability that his former co-stars have had nothing but good things to say about him following his death, and it's pretty clear they aren't just saying nice things because they're supposed to. Adam Sandler, who played Cameron's father on Grown Ups, wrote of the young star, "Too young, too sweet, too funny. Just the nicest, most talented, and most decent kid around. Loved that kid. Cared so much about his family. Cared so much about the world. Thank you, Cameron, for all you gave to us. So much more was on the way. All our hearts are broken, thinking of your amazing family and sending our deepest condolences." Cameron's co-star Dove Cameron said in her own tribute to him, "Cameron was magic, an earth angel. He talked me down from countless ledges, talked me through eating disorders, helped me out of a dark relationship, and through endless breakdowns." Clearly, Cameron was a positive force in so many people's lives, and it's impossible to know the many ways he was able to affect people's lives for the better.